Welcome to Codivio Mind and Tech, where mindset meets the future.
Welcome to this explainer. Okay, I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we are tackling something that literally every single professional on the planet has to face, but honestly, very few actually master. We're talking about that dreaded interview question and how to completely flip it into a winning, highly strategic pitch. If you're looking to learn efficiently and walk into your next interview with total unwavering confidence, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the psychology, the strategy, and the exact step-by-step framework you need to absolutely nail this moment. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to really visualize this scenario with me. You're sitting in an interview room, the door clicks shut, you've prepared your resume, you've ironed your absolute best shirt, and you're sitting right across from the hiring manager. They glance down at your CV for a second, look back up at you, give a little smile, and then they drop the line. Tell me about yourself. It's just 5 words, right? I mean, it sounds like an icebreaker. It sounds like a casual, friendly invitation to just chat. But let's be totally honest about the weight and the sheer anxiety this question usually carries in a real interview setting. In that split second, the silence in the room can feel absolutely deafening. And the reality is, most candidates completely panic right here. If you've ever felt your mind just go totally blank, or realized you're suddenly sweating right through that freshly ironed shirt, I want to validate those feelings right now. It is completely normal. Actually, research and expert consensus show that this deceptively simple question is, hands down, the most destabilizing part of the entire interview process. Because it's so open-ended, it kind of feels like stepping onto a tightrope without a safety net. You're suddenly sitting there thinking, wait, where do I start? Do I talk about my childhood, my last job, my dog? Now, what's really interesting here is the massive disconnect between what the candidate thinks is happening and what the recruiter is actually doing. The wrong approach, and yeah, it's the one most panicked candidates take, is treating this as a request for a biographical life story. They start reciting this chronological grocery list of literally everything they've done since high school. But think about the recruiter's reality. The recruiter doesn't want your biography. They want a strategic presentation. They want to know, who are you professionally? Why are you relevant for this exact role? And why should they remember you after you walk out that door? Let's peel back the curtain a little bit more, shall we? The recruiter is secretly testing you. This whole question has a hidden objective based on 3 key professional traits. First up, they want to evaluate your capacity for synthesis. Like, can you summarize complex information, basically your entire career, into a clear, concise package? Second, they're assessing your relational ease. Are you confident, structured, and, well, pleasant to listen to under pressure? And third, they're determining your relevance for the position. They are filtering literally everything you say to see if it matches the job description. Essentially, they're testing if you're going to stick in their memory as a top-tier candidate. So before we get to the solution, we absolutely have to highlight the common traps that candidates fall into. These are the things that will immediately lose the recruiter's attention. Number 1, reciting your entire CV. Guys, this is a fatal error. The recruiter already read your CV. It's quite literally sitting on the desk right in front of them. They want to hear your story, not your bullet points. Number 2, being way too personal. Unless your private life brings direct, tangible professional value to the role, just leave it out. And number 3, speaking without structure. A rambling, unstructured answer just gives the impression of a scattered, disorganized mind. So, how do we fix this? Well, we use what elite communicators and top-tier candidates use. We use a winning framework. Present, past, future. This 3-step method is your ultimate strategic anchor. When you feel that panic starting to bubble up, you just remember those 3 words. It provides this flawless, logical flow that automatically answers the recruiter's hidden questions while keeping you entirely on track. Let's break down exactly how to execute each of these 3 steps. So, the crucial point is exactly how you start. You do not start at the very beginning of your career. You start in the present. You firmly establish who you are today. This means stating your current role or situation, your main responsibilities, and ideally, a recent success. By kicking things off at the present, you immediately give the recruiter a solid anchor of your current professional value. You're essentially telling them, hey, here's the professional sitting in front of you right now. Once you've anchored the present, you just smoothly transition into the past. But remember our earlier rule, this is absolutely not a CV recital. You only want to briefly highlight the specific past experiences, key milestones, and develop skills that naturally led you to this current moment. And more importantly, the things that prepared you for the job you're actually interviewing for. It's all about connecting the dots for the recruiter, showing them a clear trajectory of growth and relevant skill acquisition. Finally, you bring the whole shebang home with the future. This is where you tie your background to a clear vision of exactly why you are genuinely interested in this specific opportunity. You need to show them that applying for this job wasn't just some random click on a job board late at night. No, it is a clear, logical, motivated, and well thought out choice. You're showing them that their company is the natural, obvious next step in your professional evolution. Let's look at a real-world example, so you can hear exactly how this three-part framework sounds in a practical, concise scenario. Listen to this. I am a full-stack developer with 2 years of experience in Java and React. I specialize in building scalable web applications. I am excited about this opportunity because I want to grow in a dynamic tech team. Boom. Present, full-stack developer. Past, 2 years Java and React, specializing in scalable apps. Future, wants to grow in this specific, dynamic tech team. It's crisp, it's confident, and it hits literally every single requirement. And this brilliantly illustrates another angle, maybe for a slightly less technical role. Take a look at this second example. Today, I'm an assistant project manager coordinating training. I started with a degree in communication, and now I want to evolve in a socially engaged environment that matches my values. Again, we see the present, coordinating training, the past, foundational education and communication, the future, seeking a socially engaged environment, perfectly aligning with the company's specific values. It just weaves their past education and future alignment so seamlessly. Now, there's a golden rule that governs this entire framework, and it's a number, 90. Your entire answer, present, past, and future, must be delivered in under 90 seconds. A strict maximum time limit of 1 to 2 minutes is absolutely crucial here. Human attention spans are short, right? Especially in a high-pressure interview setting. If you start drifting into minute 3 or 4, the recruiter's eyes are just going to glaze over and you risk losing them entirely. 90 seconds is that perfect sweet spot of high impact and concise delivery. To make those 90 seconds really count, you need to arm yourself with what experts call words of impact. We're talking about words like responsibility, result, learning, commitment, autonomy, and added value. Now, these aren't just empty corporate buzzwords. They actually trigger powerful psychological levers in the recruiter's brain. Like when you use the word result, you immediately signal that you're ROI focused. When you say autonomy, you signal that you won't need to be micromanaged. These words subconsciously build immense credibility, trust, and undeniable relevance. Here's another fantastic strategy to add a little extra value within your 90 seconds. Subtly integrate your recent training and certifications. For instance, if you recently completed a professional upskilling program, or you hold a recognized certification, like a CLIA certification, or maybe you just finished a specific coding bootcamp, mention it. It proves to the recruiter that you have a highly structured approach to your career. It shows you're proactive about learning, and it projects an image of incredible self-assurance and method. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final thought and challenge. Is this question a trap, or is it your greatest sales pitch? Honestly, the answer depends entirely on your mindset and your preparation. Tell me about yourself is the first real test of the interview. It's the doorway to the rest of the conversation. If you structure it with the present, past, future framework, keep it strictly under 90 seconds, and sprinkle in those words of impact, you completely transform panic into power. You're no longer just surviving the interview, you are dominating it right from minute 1. So take this framework, practice it out loud, and go absolutely crush your next interview.